Welcome back to another day of Food for the Soul, baby. Today, I will be showing you how to make the perfect cinnamon rolls using the grand biscuits from the frozen section in your grocery stores. I'm gonna turn these biscuits into something delicious, cinnamon rolls that you would ever want to eat. So if you like content like this, please like, subscribe, hit that bell, leave me a comment, and you forgot to read that Bible verse to feed that soul, baby. And booyah, let's get this video started. So the first thing I do is get my biscuit dough right here. This is the grand biscuit dough, and make sure your dough is thawed out all the way and is ready to just go. This is my cinnamon sugar right here already. This is my clarified butter mixture, and it works way better than regular butter all the way. This is my flour right here, and I will be showing you how to do the cinnamon glaze also with the video, so let's go. All right, the first thing I do is get me some all-purpose flour, and I just put it all over this table to stop my dough from sticking, and that is a must. And when I get through, what I'm gonna do is just spread it around just a little bit more. Now is what I do is I get my dough, and this is the fun part right here, is when you get to spread that dough all over this table and just roll it out. But doing this right here, you got to take the time and make sure when you roll it out, it's flat and it's even. And don't forget to put the flour on top to prevent sticking to your hands. And just make sure everything is flowing seamlessly with no sticking. Now, time to get the rolling pin and just roll this bad boy out until it's flat. I mean, like dumpling type flat. I know when a lot of people do their cinnamon rolls, they have it kind of thick, but this process right here, I want it flat, and make sure that all of your edges is even for it be easier to roll. Just do the best that you can do with it. So if you love cinnamon rolls, I want you to hit that thumbs up button right there. Leave me a message and tell me what city you from. And this recipe will be the best part of any party or any gathering. Your family will love you and want the recipe themselves. So sometimes you would need to add more flour because it will stick sometimes in some places. That's on anything that you do dealing with dough. But just do that, and that right there will make sure that nothing sticks to the table. And this bad boy is almost done being rolled. And see how flat it is? That's the way it should be, flat like this. There's a purpose to this madness, but you will find out. Now it's time to get your clarified butter. And this clarified butter is way better than regular butter because regular butter got that water content with that fat content, but it is straight butter. And what I do is put the butter all over my dough and make sure it's a good coating on it too. All right, this step right here is your cinnamon sugar mixture. I don't have a certain recipe. I just go by eye, but make sure your sugar and your cinnamon is a good evenly distribution between each other to complement each other. And I just put it all over this dough with a nice, healthy, just cover this bad boy up. You see that right there? Just like that right there. Make sure you get every edge and every corner of this dough. Now it's time to roll this bad boy up. And what I do is take the part that is closest to me, and I roll gently and slowly in small parts to try to get everything even and everything flowing with a nice even roll. And this size right here, and this process is gonna take about 2 minutes to get everything rolled out. But Once you get the roll started, everything else is going to be perfect. Or what you could do is cut the edges off for one even flow, but I do it this way for less waste and more delicious cinnamon rolls. Now we are at the part that this roll is starting to take off and everything is about to be real easy to roll this bad boy up, and it's gonna go quick and fast from here. Now my cinnamon roll is all rolled up in every area right now, and yeah, now it's time to spread some more flour out and recenter it and get it more closer to me so I can manage it more. Now it's time to cut my cinnamon rolls, and I want these right here to be extremely big, like really big cinnamon rolls. So if you want smaller cinnamon rolls to feed a lot of people, then make smaller pieces. But I have these right here really big, and my 2-pack of 24 is gonna give me about 16 to 18 pieces of cinnamon rolls. But if you want it smaller for like little kids, like for a party, for like bite size, you can make a whole lot of cinnamon rolls with this. The taste is still gonna be the same, but I want these bad boys right here big and delicious and just soft and moist, not juicy, but just soft and moist and just right. And what I do now is I get my pan, and this is clarified butter again. I butter my pan all over my sides and everything. And this pan right here will fit about 12 cinnamon rolls because they are so big. And it's going to take me this pan plus another small one. So I have all of my cinnamon rolls in the pan, and I add more clarified butter to the top because these cinnamon rolls are not going to be like the average cinnamon roll, all with this thick dough that just doughy. This right here is going to be delicious, and just like you won't believe how good these things will be. But just put clarified butter all over the rest of your cinnamon rolls. And what you do now is throw these bad boys in the oven at 350 for like 25 to 30 minutes. And while my cinnamon rolls are in the oven, it's time for me to make this delicious glaze. It is real easy to make cinnamon roll glaze. But if anybody try to use all extra this and extra that, you don't need to. This recipe is extremely good, and I never had anyone to tell me different yet. And I get me some powdered sugar, and I use 3/4 of a bag. And I also got some milk on the side. And this is some 1% milk. And no, I'm not going to use all of the milk at once, but I'm going to mix it up in a timely fashion to make sure it's the perfect amount of thickness for what I need. So if you want it real thin, add more milk right after your vanilla extract and your clarified butter. And what the clarified butter does is make it more thicker because the butter thickens up when it gets cold. So it's gonna keep that thick consistency when you get finished with it. Now, when you get it to the thickness you want, set it to the side when the cinnamon rolls are done. Now my cinnamon rolls are done. These things are huge and they smell so good. Now it's time to take my glaze And see that thickness of it? That's the right texture of thickness that I love my glaze to be. And I just bless all these cinnamon rolls with this delicious glaze. I put it all over it. Mm, 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 mm. And what I do is when all the glaze on the cinnamon rolls is I sprinkle a bit of cinnamon on top of it because they are called cinnamon rolls. It's not a lot of cinnamon. It's more cinnamon on top, just a very, very little for that perfect look. And these is how this delicious cinnamon roll look. When I say they smell good and they look good, and you can see them too. Now it's time for me to get a plastic spoon, a spatula, and lift one up for you to see. Look at that. Not all thick and clumpy. It just nicely even in proportion. So if you like content like this, please like, subscribe, hit that bell, leave me a comment. Do not forget to read that Bible verse at the bottom of that description to feed that soul. And see you next time on Food for the Soul, baby. Booyah!